Welcome, leaders, teams, and those ready to take charge of their energy. It's Kelly Buboltz, your guide in workforce energy management. Burnout is not just a buzzword, it's a symptom of deeper root cause stressors. We're here to stop waiting for the change and start leading it. It's time to reclaim our energy and lead our days with intention and purpose. When you're hiking at long periods of time or backpacking with that weight on your back, you're worried about animals like a bear. You might be worried about, is there going to be another human out here that's going to attack me? And all these things get in your head. But what's interesting, it's not these things that eventually break you. Say if you're out on an 12-hour hike, that's not what happens. It's the blisters on your toes. It's the rock in your shoe all day that takes you out. That's very similar to burnout. Most burnout and chronic stress isn't caused by one major event. It's the buildup of all these invisible stressors. Let's break down how these micro stress moments are draining your energy without you realizing it and what to do about them. Micro stress moments are these frequent low-level stress triggers that go unnoticed. The little broken blinkers, but enough broken blinkers cause a big traffic accident. And that's similar to this. These micro moments start building up and accumulating throughout the day. And suddenly you get to Friday and you're just completely exhausted. This is things like constant switching, having a million tabs up at once, switching between tasks, that multitasking that we like to do, or the non-urgent pings and pongs interrupting your deep work, the passive-aggressive email tones that come through, or the technology glitches right before a meeting or presentation, and having no recovery time to calm your nervous system down after that. Running late by a couple minutes all day long. That includes meeting spillover or those people that catch you on the way to something saying, I just have a quick ask right now. And that overthinking about one person's message or how they looked at you wrong. This is an energy drain. These moments create a cognitive load so heavy that we carry on day after day. It creates this friction of emotional tension between people. And it begins to reduce output. It interrupts this flow state. One 30-second distraction, someone popping in your office, someone popping in your Teams chat, it creates 20 minutes of recovery time back into your deep work task. It trains your brain to be in reactive mode, to always wondering who's coming in and how to respond, that fight, flight, or freeze type of nervous system alert. It depletes your decision-making capacity by midday because you've already made so many decisions that should have already flowed on their own. And over time, this is what becomes chronic, that chronic fatigue. And it's not easily traced back because it's compounded over time. And a simple way to start catching these micro stress moments is what we do in our leadership mastermind, and that's track the triggers. I want you to just take one day stress log and mark down any tiny stress blips, the interruptions, the tones people give you, that email, when tension spikes and everyone avoids the conflict, the elephant in the room. I want you to track all these triggers. And I want you then to notice the reaction. What's the physical cues? Is your jaw clenching, your shoulders up and tight? Do you have eye tension, like you're squinting, or your eyebrows are kind of concerned looking? Do you have mental cues like irritation, spiraling thoughts into stories that don't really match reality anymore, or replaying combos and what you said back over and over again, or emotional cues, that resentment, or the guilt that you should have done something or you did too much of something. So you track the triggers and then you notice the reaction. I want you to identify the categories. Is it a technology issue? Is it a process issue? Is it communication, workflow, like pass-offs? Was it the environment that you were in or the people in that environment? Was it your inner critic and that dialogue driving you down? I think it's very helpful when you can track these triggers, notice the reactions and document them, and identify the categories and color code them all in Excel. Because what you're going to really see is the trend, the pattern. Where is all this micro stress coming from? And that's where you can begin to reroute these stressors and get down to the root cause to fix them so they stop draining your energy. Once you identify the micro stressors to focus on, I want you to buffer your workflow. Can you build into your day time where you can actually address it and not in back-to-back meetings or still recovering from that transition time that you never had a moment to reset? Can you block off focus hours to protect that deep work? Can you find practices to interrupt that reaction loop? And what I found helpful there is addressing it straight on in my head, right? I name it or I write it and I say, this is a micro stress, not a crisis. And then I move straight to solution versus spinning on it for hours on end, draining my energy even more. I change the environment. So that means I turn off notifications or I go to a workspace that has less visual triggers, less clutter, less decision fatigue, less people interrupt me. And that can also reset me. And then I build in micro recovery moments, right? Like the 3-minute reset with a song, a quick look into daylight, some silence, away from screens, away from people, movement, a big stretch. It only takes 3 minutes or less. And through this process of identifying these micro stress patterns through tracking my triggers, noticing the reaction, and identifying the categories to really dig into, and then reducing them through workflow, my reactions, my environments, my recovery moments, I'm able to start to reroute that traffic jam, empty those pebbles in my shoe, and get back to that natural energy that just flows. Because big stress will burn you out fast, but micro stress burns you out quietly, which means you can interrupt these patterns and reroute them. And once you identify these micro stresses, you reduce them and you respond to them in a way that doesn't drain you, you will see your days become a little lighter, people get a little less annoying, and you find out you have more in control than what you think. Today's step matters. It's in the micro moments that real change begins. Managing your energy isn't about shame, blame, or disrupting your lifestyle. It's about the small, intentional choices to reclaim that natural energy. If this episode hit the mark for you, share with others. This journey doesn't have to be lost and lonely, but exciting and full of new paths. See you back here to continue the adventure.